What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ty behind the camera, and sitting in front of us is the 2024 Chevy Silverado HD. This one is a 2500 in the LTZ trim with the 6.6 liter V8 gasoline engine and the new Allison 10-speed transmission that comes hooked up to the gas engines. So this is a really nicely equipped truck. We have the Z71 package, convenience packages 1 and 2, safety package, technology package, and we also have some pretty nice chrome side assist steps and the Multiflex tailgate, all finished in a very classic white on black color combination. So we have a very nice loaded up LTZ 2500 HD to look at in this video today. In this video, we're going to detail all of the exterior features. We'll then hop under the hood, discuss both the gas and diesel powertrains. We'll then take a look at the tailgate. We'll kind of show you all the positions of the Multiflex tailgate. Then we'll work our way into the interior, starting off with the rear seats and marking our way towards the front. And we'll kind of get all of the details in between so that you have a good knowledge on the new HD. At the end of the video, you're going to want to make sure to stay tuned because I'm going to strap this GoPro to my head and we're going to go out for a drive in the Silverado and see what it's like to drive. But up front on the LTZ and above trims, we have a totally new front end design with some brand new headlights, full LED units for both the high and low beams, as well as the daytime running lights and turn signals. So every single bulb up here is all LED powered. Looks very nice, all illuminated. If we take a look back, we have a very giant front chrome grille for the LTZ, and just below the giant Chevy badge is the front camera, so we have cameras all the way around the truck. We also have some pretty nice LED fog lights down here. Again, looks pretty nice, all illuminated, just like the headlights. We have parking sensors up front, as you can see, built into the bumper, your tow hooks, and up top of the hood, we have a really nice chrome accented hood scoop. Nice and tall hood with the Powertrain badging right on the side. You have the Allison transmission and the 6.6 liter gas engine. Very beautiful 20-inch chrome wheels with the 8-lug pattern, of course, for the HD Silverados. Pretty nice all-terrain tires too with the Z71 package, and pretty big brakes. In case you're wondering, the tires measure 275/65. Got the Z71 badging on the fender. Very nice upper lights on the top, the roof marker lights and the shark fin antenna. Really nice towing mirrors on this truck. We have integrated turn signals on the mirrors, and just at the base of the post we have other cameras for the 360 view. Now once we get inside, you'll see the buttons to where you can power fold and power extend the mirrors on the LTZ, which is awesome. You also have some LED spotlights and kind of a wide angle mirror and your normal mirror with the blind spot warning. Lots and lots of chrome elements on this truck, which is very nice. I personally am a big fan of chrome, so this looks nice to me. We have the buttons on both the front door handles for the smart key entry, so you basically just tap the button to lock or unlock. We have some pretty nice chrome accented side steps too, which are a little bit of an extra cost, and the bed assist step 2. Right above that is your gas tank, and it is a capless filler. You can see even in the back with the bed, you have carpeted wheel liners, which gives you just that little bit extra edge on sound insulation. And taking a look back here at our taillights, again, same LED treatment as up front. So your tail lamps, turn signals, and brake lights are all LED. Looks very nice, all illuminated. All the badging back here is your traditional chrome with the Silverado, Chevrolet, and LTZ emblems. Full chrome rear bumper too with the towing hitch. Now this particular truck, as equipped, will tow 16,000 pounds even with the gas motor, so that's a pretty good amount of towing there. But in total, as if you properly equipped an HD Silverado with the 3500 and the diesel, you know, with all the right options, you can tow up to 36,000 pounds. couple of buttons up here for your Multiflex tailgate, and a couple of cameras too. So we have the reversing camera and the rear view camera mirror up here on the third brake light. Parking sensors back here too, and a pretty good looking rear end for the truck as well. Now, of course, they did update the styling for 2024. What do you guys think of it? Let me know in the comments. Under the hood of the HD Silverado, we have two engine options, both the same exact displacement too. But this one, as I mentioned earlier, is the 6.6 liter gasoline powered V8. Produces 401 horsepower, 464 pound-feet of torque. And then we also have the Duramax turbo diesel 6.6 liter V8. That produces 470 horsepower, 975 pound-feet of torque. So a little bit of power upgrade too for the 24 model year on the Duramax. And of course, the addition of the Allison branded 10-speed transmission is now for the gasoline-powered model as well. We can choose between two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive in all of the models except for the High Country, where four-wheel drive comes standard. And it looks pretty tidy under here. Just a basic 6.6 liter V8 with no turbochargers, superchargers, anything like that. Just a good old V8. Alrighty, let's take a look at the Multiflex tailgate that is optional on this truck. We have two separate buttons to get inside. One of the upper buttons is to release the top portion of the Multiflex tailgate. So once you have that fold down, you have kind of a workbench. You could also flip this up for a cargo stop like so. If we put the Multiflex top portion up, we can also press the bottom button, which will release the tailgate and drop down very nicely. From there, we have the normal tailgate position. We could also flip this up again for a bed stop. If we reach under to the top button, we can fold down the smaller portion again, and that will kind of give you easy access into the bed. And then we could once again fold down this piece here to have a step to get in. It is a pretty large leap to get in, but they did include a handle for you there, which is nice. Once you're in the tailgate, we have a very nice spray and bed liner, part of the Z71 package. Lots and lots of tie downs. You even have a regular household outlet back here and some LED lighting. And there's also a camera up there, not only for the camera mirror, also for a bed camera. So let's say you had like a gooseneck upfit for the rear, you can hook that up very, very easily back here with that camera. To fold up the tailgate, it is pretty light, even with all of the Multiflex tailgate design going on back here. Alrighty, so let's get into the interior of the Silverado HD. Of course, this is an LTZ, so I have very nice appointments back here. Not the nicest, since we still have the High Country above this, but still very nice. So we have the leatherette covering your armrest as well as all the way up here, and some pretty nice wood-like trim and some bright work. We have the window switch, also the 7-speaker Bose audio system in this truck, which is very nice, and quite a bit of storage towards the bottom. Assist grip over here, but you really don't need it because the side steps come down nice and low, so it's a pretty easy getting in and out of this truck. Super nice all-weather floor liners that kind of connect together in the middle, and that will protect your carpets. We have a gray headliner in this truck and very nice perforated leather seats on the inside. We even have some contrasting stitching, and you can see the perforations in the center. We can fold down the headrests as well, so you don't have all of the obstructions from the rear window. And of course, this is the crew cab model. Of course, you know, as far as cabs go, you can get the regular cab, which is the 2-door, the double cab, which is kind of the half door, and the crew cab, which is the Mac Daddy like we have. So take a look at all the space that we have. So I'm 5'10", and I adjusted this front seat to a normal driving position, and there's just loads and loads of space behind myself. Back here we have a pretty much flat floor, so fitting a third person back here will be pretty easy. We have some air vents as well as 2 heated seats here, and your USB-C and USB chargers. Now, a couple of things back here. You can actually open up these little cubbies in the backrest of the seat to store hidden objects, and then you could also put things below the seats by folding them up like so. They kind of fold up in a 60-40 fashion, so you can have a combination of cargo and people back here. But yeah, lots and lots of space back here. Pretty good amenities too with the charging and air vents, and it's a pretty nice place to be back here. Okay, so welcome to the main event, the driver's cockpit. Let's go over some stuff on the driver's door first. Take a look at that. We do have 2-person memory with an easy exit mode on the driver's side, which is very nice, right next to the lock unlock buttons. Just below we have all of our window switches and mirror adjustments, so this is to adjust your mirrors. And then we also have a window lockout for the rear and the children. This middle button will actually extend the mirrors in and out. I'm going to see if it does it. Haha, it does with the power off. So that's very nice. That would kind of be like your towing mode. And then we also have the mirror fold-in functionality too. Same material as out back, so very nice leatherette on the top surfaces and kind of the hard touch towards the bottom. Lots of storage down there too, and you could see the Bose branding on the front speaker. Take a look at these mats. These are super nice with the little Z71 logo on the front parts. And then we also have a nice stainless steel tray when you get in. The seats, of course, are fully powered with the 2-way lumbar. Hopping around to the left of the dash, we have all of your heads-up display controls, which is very nice. Your electronic parking brake, your 4-wheel drive controls, and mode selector with the tow haul mode. We also have our bed lighting back here too, gauge dimmer, and all of your automatic lighting controls, as well as the release for the steering wheel tilt and telescoping and your hood release. So here's the key for the Silverado HD, much like most of the newer Chevrolets are coming out with. We have the Chevrolet emblem on the back of the key, some chrome accents. Then we have the lock, unlock, remote start, tailgate release, and the panic alarm. We also have a little button at the side to press in, and out pops a physical key in case you need it. We of course have push button start right down here. And a nice little sound from the V8 when you start it up. Very nice leather wrapped steering wheel on the truck too. We have some stitching on the inside. All of your adaptive cruise control settings are on this side, as well as your kind of gap or distance setting, as well as your heated steering wheel. Also on this side to the back of the steering wheel are your audio adjustments. So up and down are for your presets, and then to the other side, up and down is for your audio volume. It's a pretty cool couple of hidden controls that kind of frees up the steering wheel from lots of cluttery buttons. You have your voice commands and Bluetooth controls right there, and then the back and forth and up and down on the scroll wheel for the digital display. Behind the steering wheel, we of course have your stalks for the turn signals, automatic high beams, and all your wipers. And to the other side, we have our column shifter. Now, taking a look at our screen, very nice, fully digital, and very, very much so reconfigurable display. Again, we're going to be using the scroll wheel and the back and forth to configure what we see. Now, we can scroll down in the sort of center portion and see your driving summary, trip computers, things of that nature, timer, your tire pressures, driver's assistance screen, all of your different lights for your servicing, and kind of a blank pages and options. Now, if we go over, we can adjust the display layout. So we can kind of adjust what we see in sort of a different format, I guess you could say. We have 4 of them: the classic, progressive, digital, and clean look. So the clean look really kind of minimizes everything and gives you just the most important. But we're going to play around with the classic gauge setup and kind of go through all of our options that we have. We can go down and adjust what we see in the left side of the gauges. That is pretty neat there. We can leave it up at the compass for now, and then we could go back to the right side. You can see a couple of different things there. Pretty much the same things as you could see on the other side, but you could also bring up the drive mode, which is pretty cool. The lower gauges you could also change to a maximum amount, so it'll give you the coolant temperature, the fuel gauge in the center, battery voltage, and then the oil temperature as well. You can go to a medium amount with just the coolant temperature and fuel gauge, and then a minimum amount, which is pretty cool. We'll leave it at medium for now. And we can also change what we see on the info pages and a couple of different things to adjust your heads-up display and all of that good stuff in there. We can also scroll over to see what's going on with your phone, the navigation, the music, and just back to the informations page. Now, I'm not quite sure if you could see the heads-up display, but it is up there displaying the current speed. We can now press the info button on the heads-up display controls to see driver's assistance warnings, navigation, and kind of like an off-road display, which is pretty cool. But the upper dash is very nice. We have a nice big grab handle here and on the passenger side to get in and out. And of course, we do have that column shift shifter for the 10-speed Allison. We can bring it down into reverse like so, and all of our cameras will pop up, namely the reverse camera when you pop it into reverse. Neutral, drive, and then a low mode where you can kind of cycle between all 10 gears right here. So nice to see that they kept it with the classic column shift on the 2500 trucks. Up on top of the screen there, we have a little bit of storage where you can put your sunglasses and whatnot. And that brings me down to our new infotainment screen. This is all new for the Silverado HD. And LT and above trims get this interior, so the nice updated new interior. But basically, this is kind of your home screen. You could press that there. We have all of our different menus and such there. And then we also have an alternate menu over here, which you can display your Google Maps, scroll down to display your audio, trailer view status, and a clock. So that's pretty cool. We click on over here to the audio. We could see, you could select your source. And once you do that, you can see all of the song information will display over here. We have the presets down at the bottom, and you can quickly adjust your source like so. Google-based system in this vehicle, so you get a couple of months free trial with the Google Maps and navigation and all that good stuff, which is pretty cool. And you can of course pull up your Google Maps with the navigation. You have a phone screen, and we can go through all of our different camera views. So of course, a very nice camera system in this truck. I believe there's about 6 cameras or maybe more on this thing, so definitely lots and lots of camera views. This is our front view, and then our rear. We also have a top-down rear for the front and the rear, or I should say top-down view for the front and rear. We also have the front and rear wheels, which is pretty awesome, and then a trailer hitch view. If we switch back to the rear view, we can then gain access to the top-down view, and we can change our guidance lines between a parking and a trailer hookup view, which is pretty awesome. Right here is where we can access our bed cameras, and you can see the lights actually turn on when you access the cameras, and you can also zoom in if you like too. So pretty cool camera system in this vehicle. Swiping over, you can go into your trailering app. Very nice amount of features to kind of set up your own trailer. The blind spot assistance is also included with your trailer too if you set it up, as well as adaptive cruise control. So pretty cool features that are new for 2024. You can also access the climate screen through the touchscreen, as well as having physical buttons, so you don't have to use the climate through the screen. A bunch of settings you can go through. Once you buy the truck, you can kind of customize it the way you want. Lots and lots of stuff to adjust. And that pretty much does it. We have the Amazon Alexa built in, which is really awesome. You know, built-in Wi-Fi if you have the OnStar package and things like that. Small array of buttons below the screen. One, we have a home right there with your volume knob. We have our lane departure assist, rear parking sensors. We can turn both of those features off in case you're towing something. You don't want the parking sensors to go crazy. We can pop the tailgate from in here, as well as activate your hazards. And we can also turn on and off your traction control and a hill descent mode. Just below, we have another array of buttons. Of course, the start-stop button for the engine. Your integrated trailer brake controller is at a very nice area. So if we pull the transmission down into your sort of drive, we have this right here, so you could switch manually and hit your trailer brake controller very, very close to each other. So that is pretty cool. We have heated and cooled seats up front, so we have the cooling function up top, and then you can also heat the backrest individual from the backrest and bottom of the seat. Of course, dual zone climate control with the 2 temperatures right there. All of our different zones, our defrosters, fan speed in the center, and an on-off button, and then your AC buttons, and your passenger seat temperature buttons there. We have a USB-C and USB inlet right there to charge your phone, and a nice big pad right over here to put whatever you need. A couple of large cup holders, and pretty large center console too. So if you flip that up, you have kind of an organizer. You lift that out, you have tons and tons of room with some lighting and also some connections. So we have a household outlet over here and another USB-C and USB on the other side. We can also see that there was a wireless charging pad right there too. Nice trim on the side with some extra storage down there too to put some paperwork. And on the passenger side, we have a nice trim over here, so on the upper dash, and then on towards the lower we have some perforated trim. A little hidden button right here where we can flip that up and get some extra storage, and a lower glove box too that's lockable in a kind of bin style. On our sun visors, they are nice and big, and we also have mirrors and lights. Up here we have garage door home links and our LED interior illumination. We have a central button right here for the rear window. We could power slide back and forth, as you can see. Very nice feature. We also have our SOS and OnStar controls. And take a look at this. We have a nice frameless rear view mirror, and if you pop that open, you can see the rear view camera. So that is pretty cool. Rear view camera mirror, I should say. But that pretty much does it for all the features on this beautiful 2024 Silverado 2500 LTZ. Let's get it out on the road and see how it drives. All right, here we are driving the Silverado 2500. Little overview of the test drive. So we're going to take it around in this hilly neighborhood up here in the New England area. We'll see how it performs around town. I'd like to get a nice acceleration clip for you guys too, since I personally don't have a lot of experience with this truck at all. So this will kind of be a first drive for the both of us. So we'll see how that 6.6 liter gas gets up to speed. Then we'll take it on more of a nice cruising road. So we'll get it up to hopefully about 50 miles an hour. Kind of see how the sound insulation and things like that are up at higher speeds. And finally, we'll take it on a pretty bumpy road. Now, 2500s are known for kind of riding a little bit rough because they need that extra suspension to tow your trailer or put a bunch of, you know, whatever in the bed. So we'll test out the suspension on a rough road and see how it rides. So far, it seems like it rides pretty good for a 2500. You know, the age-old saying is, you know, all the 2500 to 3500 trucks ride like rocks, but this one not so much. It's very solid, but if you put a couple 100 pounds back in the bed, then it will smooth right out. So right here is kind of where we'll do our acceleration test. So we'll kind of take it right onto this road. We'll give this guy in the Nissan Rogue some room, and we'll kind of just punch the throttle and see how fast we can get it up to speed. Turn the AC off so we have some extra power. Kind of curious to see how this 10-speed transmission will react. Here we go. So yeah, this is a heavy truck to cart around, and the 6.6 gas does a pretty good job of doing just that. You know, it's not a race car, it's not anything like that by any means. And of course the Duramax will have the slight advantage to the power, well, I should say quite a bit of an advantage to the power. But yeah, this 6.6 gas definitely has more power than the 6.0 did in the previous trucks, previous generation trucks I should say, and it does just fine. It definitely does have quite a bit of torque to cart this truck around too. This V8 actually sounds pretty good too. So the noise insulation on this truck is pretty good as far as the engine goes, but it does give you a subtle nice grumble from the V8 too, just to let you know it's there. This actually is a pretty smooth truck over a, you know, a nice and smooth road, granted, but actually the suspension feels pretty good on this truck. Alright, so this light here, once it turns green, this will be a pretty good turning circle test for the truck, or I should say turning radius, since we kind of curve all the way around, and hopefully we'll make it. We'll see what how this truck does. Wow, yeah, pretty impressive actually. Does a nice job. Of course, this is a pretty long wheelbase, of course. You know, not the longest wheelbase you could possibly get, but you know, it is a pretty long truck. But yeah, does a pretty good job with a turning circle. Okay, so now that we are up at 50 miles an hour, slight amount of wind noise, not as much as I was expecting from those giant tow mirrors. But yeah, it actually sounds pretty good up at speeds with the sound insulation. You know, really no tire noise at all. You know, if you think about it, the tires are actually pretty far away from you. You know, way down there, because we're sitting up pretty high in this 2500 truck. But yeah, pretty impressive amount of sound insulation as far as the wind noise goes. Pretty nice thing about these tow mirrors too, there's not some giant arms sticking out to you know, to hold these things on. It's just a small post that actually comes off the door itself, not really like the A-pillar, so you have a good amount of visibility in between the mirror and the A-pillar, so it really doesn't hinder visibility at all. Yeah, actually very impressive amount of sound insulation on this truck. I'm pretty impressed. Now as we're going down this little hill, look at the RPMs. They're almost up at 2,000, and it's kind of holding us at a constant 42 miles an hour without having to tap the brake pedal that much. So with that being said, without any load in the back or a trailer, you know, it's pretty nice. It saves the brakes a little bit for you with some engine braking. Alright, so we got one more nice tight turn to test out the turning circle. Yeah, this does a pretty nice job with the turning radius. And take a look at how close the gear ratios are together. So every time it changes gears, You know, the RPMs aren't dropping a whole lot. That's the advantage to the 10-speed automatic. And now it's an Allison transmission, so that is, you know, just the name of having the Allison transmission is always known for being a unbelievably reliable transmission and great for towing. And now that it has 10 speeds, it's even better for towing. All right, we're gonna make one final right-hand turn. If you guys remember the suspension torture test I was promising, here is that road. This road is rough. It definitely needs a repaving, but that is good for us because we really get a true test of the suspension on this truck. Lots and lots of manhole covers, potholes, and imperfections in this road that really give us a good view on how this truck rides. And so far it's not too bad. And of course I am getting jostled around a little bit because of that stiff rear suspension, but it really isn't too bad at all. Take a turn up here and there's some more bumps I'd like to hit, and that pretty much does it for the video. This is a pretty rough road, but yeah, really not too bad with this suspension setup on this 2500. So that pretty much does it. One final nasty bump there. That pretty much does it for the Silverado 2500 LTZ 2024 at that. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope you stay with us here at Ty Drives for more videos just like this one.